normally provide us ecosystem services. For example, forest ecosystem services mostly regulatory, and agriculture ecosystem, we know that ecosystem services mainly provisioning, that is production. So in between that, from forest to agriculture, there are many ecosystems that some of them natural, some of them man-made. So in between that, we trying to optimize or maximize ecosystem services supply capacity of different ecosystems. So in that line, we have many more things to do as natural resource management. So here we know that every item mostly related to natural resources, or we focus optimizing natural resources, and we try to minimize the degradation of ecosystems or natural resources. So in that line, we have 5 important research articles. So let me invite first that research paper. It is on agroecological suitability mapping of black pepper. That is the presenter is Erangati Veerawardena. I invite to present first presentation that I mostly invite that paper time has been given as 20 minutes, and first that presentation is on 4.15, and that I also ask to audience when during the question session, please be try to ask questions in line with that particular presentation, and very briefly, if ask, it's better. So I invite Eranga to do the presentation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ranga Veerawardena from Central Research Station, Martali. Let me discuss my study on agroecological suitability mapping of black pepper in Sri Lanka. This figure shows distribution of black pepper in districts of Sri Lanka in year 2021. Here you can see the black pepper cultivations are limited into several districts, and most of them are in wet and intermediate zones of Sri Lanka. The reason is the origin of black pepper is prey forest of humid tropics, so inherently it prefers humid tropical climate. So black pepper cultivations are limited into areas which have humid tropical climate. If we further discuss it, the problems of existing black pepper cultivations such as poor field establishments, retarded growth, pest and disease incidences, and as well as low yield, highly depend on agroecology of that particular land. So before starting a black pepper cultivation, we must know well about the agroecology of particular region. So preliminary identification of agroecological suitability of a particular land will help farmers to select appropriate management practices in order to enhance the growth of black pepper plants as well as enhance to productivity of black pepper cultivation. So first of all, we must know about agroecological sources in Sri Lanka. There are 46 agroecological sources in Sri Lanka. Majority of them are in wet intermediate zone. The number is 20, and 15 of them are in wet zone, while 11 of them are in dry zone. Objective of my study was to develop agroecological suitability map for black pepper in Sri Lanka to provide information on agroecological suitability and relevant crop management practices to farmer to decide and enhance the growth and productivity of his land. Let's move on to materials and method. Based on the outcome of a previous research, I have tabulated agroecological factors and limiting values that affect on growth and productivity of black pepper in Sri Lanka. Here you can see the factors: rainfall, temperature, and soil, and the limiting values for most suitable, considered as most suitable, moderate, suitable, and not suitable. The values in yellow color column actually displays the most suitable value, which are important for optimum growth in black pepper plants. Here you can see soil, land, drainage, and elevation characteristics. Based on that information, I developed a market system to assess the suitability of agroecological zone of Sri Lanka to cultivate black pepper. The positive marks are given for factors which enhance the growth and productivity of black pepper, while limiting values were given for factors which limit the growth and productivity of black pepper cultivations. So the heaviness of that value, which range from 1 to 4, depend on the effectiveness of that factor on growth and productivity of black pepper. So based on that values, here you can see some other parameters, and I calculated the best value for each agroecological zone. Then, based on that values, 4 suitability classes were identified, and those suitability classes were mapped in a GIS environment using ArcMap software version 2023. For that purpose, I developed a base map using union of layer files, agroecological regions of Sri Lanka, secretariat divisions of Sri Lanka, and primarily the divisions of Sri Lanka, which were developed or created by previous GIS scientists. Let's move on to results and discussion. In this table, you can see the marks obtained and how I differentiate those suitability classes. The agroecological zones which received negative marks were classified as not suitable, and zones received values 1 to 4 as marginally suitable. Agroecological zones which received marks from 5 to 10, 8 as moderately suitable, and agroecological zones received marks from 9 to 12 as highly suitable class. So these suitability classes S1, S2, S3, S4 used to map in GIS environment. So here you can see agroecological suitability map developed for black pepper in Sri Lanka. Highly suitable area S1 in red in color. Moderate suitable classes is S2 is in orange color. Marginally suitable class S3 in yellow in color, and not suitable class S4 in ash in color. First, let's see highly suitable class S1. Actually, this class may located in Kandy and Mawatha districts, and some areas of Kurunegala, Kegol, and Nuwara. Actually, these are traditional black pepper cultivations in Sri Lanka. So very little attention is needed to cultivate in this area. Uh, so we don't need any special inputs or special management practices. We can manage this land by using good agricultural practices recommended by Department of Export Agriculture. Here you can see map developed for Doluva DS division in Kandy, and also DS map developed for Rattore in Makale. So next region is the class is moderately suitable class. That is the potential region for development of black pepper in future development or productive improvement programs. But this contains major decrease such as Gampa, Kalathara, Goal, Matra, and Colombo. In this map, uh, general land use pattern of the is not considered. Uh, we have to consider that rapid urbanization of these in these districts, and also prioritize number cultivations in these districts in our future development programs. But S2 regions in Kandy, Matale, Kegol, Kurunanga, Ratnapura, Badulla, Muraragala, Ampara, Puttalam, and Puttalam and Hambantota. We can use these areas because they are suitable to expand black pepper cultivations and productivity improvement programs in future. I have listed compulsory agricultural practices for each region for highly suitable area. We have to consider scheduled pruning of support tree because the growth rates are high in this area. Recommended plant species also important. Scheduled weed management and soil conservation techniques are essential. In moderately suitable area, same practices are needed, and in addition to those practices, uh, water supply during dry periods, facilities for water drainage in during high rainfall uh, uh, periods, and scheduled testing of pH is also needed. Then let's move on to marginal suitable class, which will identify as three. In dry zone, the districts in regions in Radhapura, Polonnaruwa, Betikula, Ampara, Vavuniya, Trincomalee, and Madagala in this region, and some regions of wet zone uh, in this districts are also in this suitable area. Here you can see some district maps, Ampara, Madaragal, and Puttam, and marginal suitable areas in those districts. So in marginal suitable areas, and more attention is needed. So especially artificial irrigation system is essential if we are going to cultivate or start black pepper cultivation in those areas, and we have to uh, pay more attention on mulching of root zone and cultivation of cover crops. And if we for areas in our country, scheduled pruning of support tree, soil conservation techniques, wind breaks, and scheduled pH tests are essential. Based on the above information, we can conclude that agricultural suitability of black pepper in Sri Lanka was mapped under four suitability classes, namely highly suitable, moderately suitable, marginally suitable, and not suitable. And all black pepper farmers in each suitability class should follow essential cultural practices to supply relevant inputs to maintain a suitable black pepper cultivation. Here are some preferences, and thank you all for your kind attention throughout my presentation.
Thank you very much, Teranga, for doing this type of very informative, that will align and research for export sector, export agriculture sector. We know that paper is very highly demanding and high potential for export earning, and this research mainly focus on optimizing and also to get maximum potential by taking maximum high potential area.
In pots containing balanced potting mixture, that potting mixture must contain equal parts of topsoil, vegetation,
And also that some tone based recommendation also included. So now we can with this session open for questions and clarification. Yes, I invite all of you to ask questions from Ranga on that research, conduct research.
Very good presentation. Is there, it is available for this type of map for cinnamon crops also?
It's a this kind of research phase. Actually, the site started from black paper.
Black pepper,
Then
okay.
the one is cinnamon paper. But first of all, we have to identify real black address with 20 suitable for black
Cinnamon, okay.
Then we can use this information for
Right.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much. So it is also that methodology can apply with, I think, so any other.
Good morning, all of you. Actually, highly informative information from your presentation. I really appreciate this study. But in this study, I can see that practically we know that in Ratnapur area, in Kalawana, and Badul Aldumulla, and Monragale Badalkumbura, those are also highly potential area for the paper. But those areas were not included into the highly suitable and the moderate suitable, as I see in the observation. What will be the reason for that?
Yeah, actually, this research was done according to market system. So according to that market system, I think that accurate found that one I think in 2B or something. That was under moderate data. I don't know because I actually in this study I considered that the climatic conditions, characters. But sometimes there may be any other character, environmental, it might, I think, we actually consider that microecology. There may be certain important factors in that area. Actually, I have not, so I think we have to, yeah. I actually thank you for your
We know that
suggestions. I will just look at the market scheme and just find out what is the reason for that.
That practically in some areas there may be some specific pockets.
Yeah.
In the area. That might be the reason sometimes. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That maybe some small that is national is very mapping maybe if you go for regional skills, maybe that can be considered.
One thing I want to know that like I said, that's clarifying is about the color of the regions. I don't know whether color blind or something, but S1 and S2 regions, it's very difficult to differentiate. Yes, a standard way of using colors.
Yeah, actually, I selected that color. But actually, we have a base map. Actually, I talked with that Sudarak also is actually better than me. I think we can use this information to develop or change, modify the map accordingly. So I can give them 20% to develop them further. I think according to my knowledge, actually I developed this, but I think it is the base for the development. So you can we can change that. You can change that.
Especially the red color is
Yeah.
for not
I
to
will
allow
thank you
it.
for your suggestion.
Thank-
I will try to develop it with different studies.
Thank you very much for that question. Because, when final print, maybe we can adjust the color. And around, I think, last few minutes, I have some question about that paper. And you have mentioned in moderate suitable classes some recommendation that is irrigate the recommended, but you have analyzed that agro-ecological form based on both availability. I have seen that bimodal, pen pedal, that all have considered. But what about irrigation? Irrigated area, if they also have potential to supply water.
No,
What do you think?
So that's I suggested that artificial irrigation for marginally suitable area, that is actually EN1A regions of the actually in dry zones. Actually, other than EN1A, you cannot cultivate because in my study I understand that we cannot go for other regions because certain level of moisture availability in EN1A region. So we have to sufficient amount of soil moisture in the year, and then but for the further development management, especially if there are some prolonged dry periods in dry cost. So in order to withstand that dry period, essentially we should apply artificial irrigation system. That's why because actually we can go back to that, but we cannot maintain a sustainable cultivation. That is without these inputs and cultural practices. That's what I think.
May I comment on Chairman sir? May I comment on that? May I comment?
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, even though it is belongs to the very good agricultural zone, as you know that due to the climate change, we can't receive the enough rainfall at the right season. So when we come to the intermediate zone, sometimes at the right time we don't have enough rainfall, and we have to supply some irrigation. That must be the reason why I think he's added irrigated irrigation for that zone. And another suggestion, actually we have given these suitability maps for the whole highland. But I think I feel that it is very much important. If you can prepare the maps, not only for the island, right, but also the specific district might be.
We can prepare.
Have a specific area for the and we are going to expand the area in untouchable area also. If we can prepare map for specific district, then I think it would be more important to develop the land for proper cultivation and expansion of the cultivation in the future.
That's what I'm saying.
Suggestion,
I have 20 district map, and according to my information, we can for the DS level also.
Thank you very much. That time is up. I think that thank you very much for all comments for improvement of that Lanka's paper. And thank you very much for very informative presentation and answering the question. So next we shall go to next presenter. So that is on identification of land suitability for cinnamon cultivation in Polonnaruwa, Sri Lanka using GIS-based modeling. That is presenter is Dehan SG. Sorry, sir.
Good morning, all of you. Sri Lanka is known as a spice island since colonial era, and cinnamon is one of the important spice crop grown in Sri Lanka. Therefore, my study is identification of land suitability for cinnamon cultivation in Polonnaruwa, Sri Lanka using a GIS-based model. So this is the content of my presentation. As the introduction, the Cinnamomum ceylonicum bloomi of family Lauraceae is commonly known as Ceylon cinnamon or true cinnamon. It is an indigenous spiced crop to Sri Lanka. It is the highest foreign income generating EAC, and EACs contributed 0.7 to the GDP in 2021. 50% of this contribution has been come from cinnamon. Sri Lanka has exported 18,821 tons of cinnamon and allied products in 2022 with a value of $1,227.14. Sri Lanka is the world's largest producer and exporter of pure cinnamon, and we claim 80 to 90% of global market share. We have a great potential to reach into international niche market segments. In order to increase our foreign remittance, we have to increase the export volume. Therefore, we have to increase our production. Therefore, cultivation expansion has become a key consideration. Currently, cinnamon cultivation is concentrated wet and intermediate zone, but not much in dry zone. Therefore, study aims to give a proper guidance how to introduce cinnamon to dry zone by using one of the dry zone districts. Fitness of a given type of land for defined specific use is known as land suitability. When we are developing land suitability plans, it is important for weight allocation for the considered variables. HP is one such commonly used approach to determine weights. Here, weights are assigned based on a priority index after derived through a pairwise comparison. As objectives, the general objective is to determine suitable areas and develop potential land suitability model for expansion of cinnamon in Polonnaruwa district, Sri Lanka, for the use of relevant stakeholders. Those specific objectives are to develop land suitability maps concerning annual cumulative rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, slope, elevation, soil types, and depth to groundwater level, to identify the potential land uses where we can expand cinnamon, and to calculate the total land extent under each suitability class based on DSTs, and to validate the derived land suitability model. Then we'll move to the methodology. The study area lies between these latitudes and longitudes with a total land extent of 3,466 square kilometers. During my study, I have collected following data from following institutions. Preparation of digital layers. The monthly rainfall and mean temperature data were collected from the Department of Meteorology, and the data were interpolated using inverse distant weighted algorithm to produce raster maps, and the raster maps for maximum and minimum temperature were directly downloaded from World Climate Database. The Alos Plaza Global Digital Surface Model, which is available at 30-meter resolution, was used as the DEM. Then the pitfill DEM was used to derive the slope map. All the data layers were reprojected to Sri Lankan National Grid, and all the vector data were converted into raster data. At the end, I am going to perform a weighted overlay analysis. Therefore, we have to overlay one layer on top of the other. Therefore, all the data has to be in the same projection system, and all the data has to be raster data. Most important climatic and topographic factors were indicated as main variables. Here I have 7 main variables: annual cumulative rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, slope, elevation, depth to the groundwater level, and soil types. HP was used to determine the priority levels. Here ranks are given from 1 to 9, where rank 1 is the most preferable case, rank 9 is the most unsuitable case. And the final land suitability map was classified based on FAO 1974 guidelines as highly suitable, suitable, moderately suitable, and unsuitable. Then the derived land suitability building model was validated using the existing cinnamon cultivations. The GPS locations of 85 current cinnamon cultivations were taken and created a point data layer. Then we'll move to the results and discussion section. First, rainfall. When we look at a dry zone district like Polonnaruwa, rainfall is going to be the most critical limitation factor. Therefore, HP allocated 30% of weight for annual cumulative rainfall. The result shows that 87% of whole Polonnaruwa district is fallen within moderate suitable category, and 13% fallen within the suitable category. So by considering only annual cumulative rainfall, we can say Polonnaruwa district is moderately suitable for cinnamon cultivation. Then the temperature, I have considered maximum and minimum temperature separately. The ideal temperature range for cinnamon cultivation is 25 to 30 Celsius. And in dry zone, maximum temperature is going to be more limitation factor than minimum temperature. Therefore, HP allocated 15% of weight for maximum temperature, 5% of weight for minimum temperature. But the result shows that both maximum and minimum temperature fallen in the suitable category, so it's also not going to be a limitation factor. The slope is the next most critical limitation factor for the growth and productivity. HP allocated 10% of weight here, but the result shows that 98% fallen within the highly suitable category, so it's also not going to be a limitation factor. Then elevation. Elevation also plays a vital role for the both growth and productivity of cinnamon. HP allocated 5% of weight for elevation, and research shows that 99% fallen within the highly suitable category, so it's also not going to be a limitation factor. Then depth to the groundwater level. Cinnamon is a perennial crop with a moderately deep and extensive root system, so depth to the groundwater level also plays a vital role in absorbing water. So HP allocated 10% of weight. When depth to the groundwater level goes beyond 1.5 meter, that is the highly suitable category. And research shows that 98% fallen within that highly suitable category, so it's also not going to be a limitation factor. Apart from the annual cumulative rainfall, soil type is going to be the next most critical limitation factor. Therefore, HP allocated 25% weight for soil type. Cinnamon grows well under red yellow proxolic, reddish brown laxolic, and immature brown lobes. These are the highly suitable soil types. Unfortunately, none of these soil types are found in Polonnaruwa. And there are 9 soil types in Polonnaruwa. 3 of them fallen within the suitable category, 3 of them fallen within the moderate suitable category, and 3 of them fallen within the suitable category. By only considering soil types, we can say Polonnaruwa district is moderately suitable for cinnamon cultivation because 64% fallen within the moderate suitable category. This is the major soil type map, and this is the soil type suitability map. Up to now, we have discussed each and every factor separately. Now we have to consider the composite impact of each and every factor. After performing a weighted analysis, the resultant map shows that 24% of whole Polonnaruwa district fallen within the suitable category, 59% of whole Polonnaruwa district fallen within the moderate suitable category. But the issue is we cannot cultivate cinnamon in all over these places because it's about whole Polonnaruwa district. Most of these areas has been already overtaken by different kind of land uses like water bodies, forests, paddy fields. Therefore, we have to identify the potential land uses. So I considered the land use data. 1 into 10,000 land use data was used to identify the potential land uses. The potential land uses, chaina, scrubland, grassland, barren land, and underutilized lands were identified. And these land uses were extracted and overlaid on top of the derived land suitability model to get the final resulted land suitability map. The final resulted map shows that 9,116 hectares fallen within the suitable category and 11,050 hectares are available in moderate suitable category. Then these land uses were calculated under each suitability class based on DSDs. The Lanka DSD is having the highest land extent under suitable category. Timbulagala DSD is having the highest land extent under not suitable category. When with respect to GNDs, 33 GNDs fallen within the suitable category, 63 GNDs fallen within the moderate suitable category. The highest land extent under suitable category is found in Sungavila GND of Lankapura DSD. The validation results shows that 82 GPS locations out of 85 of the current cinnamon cultivations are found within the suitable and moderate suitable areas of the derived land suitability model. So it shows that the current cinnamon cultivations are also aligned with the derived land suitability model. As conclusions, by considering annual cumulative rainfall and soil types, Polonnaruwa district is moderately suitable for cinnamon cultivation. Minimum temperature, maximum temperature, slope, elevation, depth to the groundwater level are not going to be limitation factors. By considering all the factors, there are no highly suitable areas in Polonnaruwa district for cinnamon cultivation. Then total land extent under suitable is 9,116 hectares, moderate suitable is 11,050 hectares, and not suitable is 3,305 hectares. Most of the current cinnamon establishments are also found within the suitable and moderate suitable areas of the derived land suitability model. The highest land extent under suitable category was found in Lankapura BSD. As recommendations, cinnamon is not recommended to areas where the soil types are not favorable. Cinnamon cultivation can be effectively expanded to the areas identified under suitable with irrigation, and cinnamon cultivation can be recommended to potential areas identified as moderate suitable with proper agronomic practices. And these are some of my references. And thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much for very informative and timely presentation, because cinnamon is high potential profit, and optimizing by using best areas and expand the cultivable areas is most important. So now that we open this session for discussion, I invite audience to ask questions from the presenter. You mentioned suitable area for Salaman, in Telangaru district, but that area also needs irrigation because of low rainfall. Okay, low rainfall. Situation is low rain. Yes, the research shows that 87% of the whole Telangaru district is fallen in moderate suitable category when we are only considering the rainfall. Yeah. So rainfall is a very limitation factor, and during my study, I have considered, I have developed rainfall maps for each and every month also. There's some drought period, so we have to consider it is during from May, March to September, the rainfall is below it means the rainfall fallen is in not suitable category. So in that sense, the rainfall is not sufficient. I have taken 40 years data. The rainfall is not sufficient, so if we are recommending cinnamon, there has to be irrigation facilities. The rainfall is the most critical intensity. But as a temperature, I have considered the rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, slope, elevation, and groundwater data, and also soil type. And the key factors I have identified as soil type and rainfall. So that is why I have the model given the highest rate for rainfall and soil type. If we cannot exclude the soil type, soil factors and the rainfall rate. That's a good informative presentation. Yes, actually, as the previous presentation, it can also important for us to expand our cultivation in the non-traditional area. So that's why I said that the previous presentation, this type of specific site-specific maps are very much important to select the suitable lands for the different crops. Actually, in your presentation, highly appreciated. My question is actually the question of clarification. As you know that in the Peradeniya area, we have large reservoirs like Parakan, Samudra, area, Madhu, like that. And also in sometimes like the western part of that Peradeniya area, I remember, there are some mountains also in the Bulago and some other areas. So due to these reservoirs and mountains, are there any specific pockets, like might be the variation of the rainfall, might be the temperature, the soil moisture due to these reservoirs and the mountains. So when you are preparing this map, did you found that in effect from these reservoirs and the mountains to find the suitable area in your map? Based on my map, the resultant land shaping did not those things, the area, the suitable area lies between the Mahavali Basin. The Lankapura DSB is the area that which highest land extent covered by the Mahavali Basin. So that is why it has come as the most suitable area because of that water availability. And in Middle Peradeniya, there's a issue with the water, drinking water. That is why I have considered the groundwater data because there's an issue for drinking water, so they can use that water for agricultural purposes.
You said that in March to July, March to September, because actually in this area, the prominent rain region is Maha. Yes, sir. So you were talking about the Yala. The Yala actually the rainfall is very low. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, sir. Very good presentation, very small question. In Coronado area, some areas we have problem in the road. Did you observe that what was not a limitation for the road for some high rainfall is coming in northeast interior. Did you observe that? Did you consider that? I haven't considered the drainage as a key factor because this is a model. I have identified the suitable area. This is a guide for the extension manager. I think when you in Colorado also, you also come. I have started this project when I was in Colorado. Some of the data availability is also issue.
I think that depth to groundwater is there, so that maybe that can be related.
Siddhartha, this is very good presentation. So, in this experience, we have considered about the soil type. What is the importance of soil type in this related to this experiment? Soil types, because there are soil types we can cultivate cinnamon and there are soil types we cannot cultivate cinnamon. So I have gone through the soil types only because some soil data like soil depth and soil pH and some of the data is not available for all these things. So I suggest so because the soil variation is very high. You consider about the soil character. That is, I think, better than soil type. Next section, you consider about the slope. Yes. So what is the best slope? So what are the suitable slopes for cinnamon? Is it effective? Yeah. Slope is effective cinnamon for the growth of cinnamon or something? So the sea slope is one of a limitation factor for the growth and development of cinnamon, but when it comes to a dry zone, this is like Colorado is at a very low elevation. Slope is not much effective factor because I have gone through a lot of literature. These are the variables that has been used to derive land suitability models. Yes, so there might be effects, but as I mentioned, most of the research which has been done previously, they have gone through. I have used a lot of researchers doing on rubber. They all have followed these main variables as the variables that I have used. I know there are issues, but the factor is some of the data is not available for a whole area. That is the issue. That is why I have to limit the from soil types also. I know the soil characteristics are important, but the data is not available for such work. And some of the data is very expensive. Rainfall data is and some of the data given by the survey department is very expensive. That is one of the limitations.
We are the only department, I think, for data provided theory. Did you consider the yield levels and now you separate moderate, sensible, moderate, sensible, and sensible like that? Have you considered the yield levels?
No, madam. Because this is actually I have gone through the suitability characteristics. These are the parameters, and this is only a guide for our extension of this. Now they know what are the areas.
No, I mean to prove that you find you
I have done a field survey of the current
see whether they are it matches with the yield levels because the character is suitable, highly suitable, moderate suitable. Then the yield levels also have some
there might be a relationship. That is a good suggestion because at the time when I am doing this survey, Colorado district, the cinnamon cultivation is at a very limited stage.
It's now
Now it's developing into harvesting.
actually entering to the colonial.
Harvesting stage. So it can be done in the future. Because I have the GPS locations of the fields that we have taken. Further we can develop. And thank you very much.
It's good to see, to relate yield levels. It proves that what your hypothesis.
Yes, yes,
Thank you very much for that suggestion actually to improve that finding and to make it more useful. If there is some question in from chat, so this question is from the social media viewers. How do you explain subjectivity when using analytical hierarchy process for deciding weight? Is from Init Prabhat.
analytical hierarchical process is a technique. They are the weights are assigned based on a survey. We have taken the expertise opinion and there's a model based on the model based on the survey data. When you feed that data to HP, like a square, finally you see the outcome of the weight.
Thank you very much. I think that satisfies the answer. So because that methodology already in the digital, we have to interfere some to get some to use some expert knowledge to rectify some. Is there any question? Thank you very much. Time is up actually. Thank you very much for very good, very informative and presentation. There is earlier one national level and there is sub-national. So there is more detail will come and that methodology can be used. Thank you very much. Thank you. So there, may I invite next presenter that is on title is presentation is the effect of different mixtures and compound fertilizer rates on early growth of black pepper cutting. That is presenter is again that Ranga Giravatan.
Good morning. Title of my research presentation is Effect of different potting mixtures and compound fertilizer rates on early growth of black pepper cuttings. Propagated material of black pepper is stem cuttings. So general practice of propagation is direct planting of nodal cuttings of brown runners as well as cuttings from practice systems in pots containing balanced potting mixture. That potting mixture must contain equal parts of topsoil, well decomposed cow dung, river sand and corders. However, scarcity and high cost of ingredients in potting mixture is one of the major reasons of problems in planting material production at present. People use subsoils instead of topsoil, and people use minimum quantities of cow dung or cordust or river sand in their potting mixtures. So unbalanced and infertile potting mixtures used in nurseries may result poor rate of rooting responses, poor quality rooting systems in planting materials, and finally poor quality black pepper plants. So at the end, in front, we can see poor field establishment rates and retarded growth of plants and low productivity in black pepper cultivations. The decomposed cow dung is then the major and essential ingredient of potting mixture because it supplies most of the key nutrients. It improves the organic matter content of the medium, water holding capacity, structure of the potting mixture, especially biological activity, that bacterial diversity and enzyme activity of the potting mixture. So it is very difficult to find alternative for decomposed cow dung, but here we can find an alternative nutrient source. However, it is very difficult to use straight fertilizers because previous research revealed that use of urea, MOP in excess amounts damage young roots of plant. So we can find uh, alternative sources from compound fertilizers because they are more advanced fertilizers. They are produced using basic fertilizer materials produced via specific manufacturing process. So a single granule contains desired amount of multiple nutrients. So they are more efficient and environment friendly. The selected compound fertilizer NPK ratio 2:1:7:14 is a very popular nitrate fertilizer which used to enhance the growth of vegetative phase of many crops. The supply nitrogen both as ammonium nitrogen and nitrate nitrogen, and phosphorus is also in fully available form. So this compound fertilizer may supply NPK for early growth of black pepper. So objective of my study was to evaluate different potting media and application of selected compound fertilizer on early growth of black pepper cuttings. Let's move on to materials and method. This experiment was conducted at Central Research Station Mawatha under plant out conditions. Design was RCPD. Uh, there were 10 treatments. T10 was recommended potting mixture. Three motive media were used. One is topsoil malone, topsoil, equal parts of topsoil and sand, equal parts of topsoil, sand, and quartz. And each medium was treated with 1 or 2 or 3 grams of selected fertilizer. Then two nodal cuttings of selected black pepper selection BDMN 41 was planted in black polythene pots containing uh, treated potting mixtures, and they were kept in a humid chamber for 21 days. After 21 days, survival of plants was evaluated and growth performances such as shoot length, leaf number was evaluated in every 2 weeks. In addition to that, shoot press rates and root press rates were measured at monthly intervals. 14 mixtures were analyzed for soil pH, electrical conductivity, total nitrogen, exchangeable potassium, available phosphorus and organic matter content by using standard analytical techniques. Data were analyzed using SAS. Here you can see results and discussion. Actually, survival of plants was ranged from 97 to 100%, but they were not significantly different. But here you can see mean shoot length. You can see throughout the experiments, T10 has produced significantly highest mean shoot length, and also in T9. In early stages, 1 and 2 months after, you can see T8 treatment age was also had higher significant high mean shoot length. Here you can see mean number of leaves. After 4 months, T8, T9, T10 had prepared 5 or more than 5 number of leaves. Actually, that is the accepted number of certified planting materials. So, by this result, we can say that T8, T9, and T10 had good growth performances. And you can see here fresh shoot weights at 1 month after planting. We can't see any significant difference, but after 2 months, we can see a significant high fresh shoot weights in recommended potting mixture compared to other treatments. Here you can see fresh shoot weights of black pepper cuttings. Here also, at 1 month after planting, there was no significant difference, but after 2 months, there was highly significant fresh shoot weights in recommended potting mixture, treatment 9, and after 3 months, in recommended fatty mixture. So according to that research, we can say that the highest growth performances were observed in recommended fatty mixture and also in the medium content of say sand cordus and with 2 or 3 grams of adder's compound fertilizer. The picture also shows the differences in growth performances among treatments as well as after 1 month, 1 month and 3 months and 3 months after planting. When we examine the pH, the pH were in optimum range after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months after planting. But you can see electric conductivity was low in all treatment except topsoil treatment, and total nitrogen percentage was high in recommended potting mixture. And also organic carbon content was also high in recommended potting mixture. The available phosphorus levels were also high in recommended potting mixture. So the availability nutrients may be the reason for high growth performances in recommended potting mixture. With that, I conclude my research study with following conclusions. Recommended potting mixture containing equal amount of topsoil, cow dung, sand and powder is the ideal medium for propagation of black pepper rooted cuttings, and media containing equal parts of topsoil, sand, dust with 2 grams or 3 grams of compound fertilizer is a good alternative medium for black pepper instead of cow dung in the potting mixture. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much for attention. Now we will open this session for discussion. Nice audience to ask questions. Remember, what are the varieties you use? Local or Panuro? Only one variety.
Soil and compound fertilizer. You can buy it in free. Actually, topsoil has nitrogen. Topsoil has topsoil around with 3 grams of compound fertilizer. But actually, in the experiment, the water content were not significant. It will not significant. Initially, actually, got a little bit of food. Please apply after 1 month. Yeah, the food is not they need additional nutrients after 1 month. Because actually, this type of substance that we found. That's right. They use this little soil. But the problem is farmers they have problems in finding product also, and sand is expensive. So most of people they are trying to use soil, only soil, and nowadays they use some small amount of cow dung for the setting mixture. But if there is a significant difference between the significant growth, if there is only the soil and the compound fertilizers and some treatments after 1 month. Some additional notification after 1 month may be useful. That's one problem with this type. So if you have a solution, but actually by another study, by using six levels of structure, the subsoil, double, the subsoil, and sadhan faraya. Then we can minimize the level of mountain, then you can use different compounds of life. We also given some recommendations.
This way, you use topsoil, but topsoil are not available in large scale. Most government use subsoil only. Why did you use subsoil also? That's the key.
We can consider it. So the second one, we can consider both
It's very limited resources, topsoil, not available in large scale. One suggestion about statistical analysis part, instead of doing all possible mean comparisons, you can do group comparison. For example, control versus the rest of each or also we can compare the group of each chemical fertilizers with chemical fertilizers. That is then we can go some meaningful conclusions. But the thing is, what groups we are going to that thing should be decided before you conduct it. Otherwise, it is like suggestion.
Hello, Mr. Ranga. We have investigated the growth parameters and cell parameters also. So did you make any correlation or regression studies to relate the most important factors like maybe nitrogen and everything? So you have already the data in your hand, you can do the same correlation or regression study. To get this system, yeah. This is a concept.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, Udila.
Yeah, actually, this is very important presentation. But my question is, ultimately what we need is the quality planting material. So when we are collecting data, we have to collect almost all the data what we can. But in your presentation, I didn't see the dry waste and the root length. I think for the next accumulation and growth phase, what we need is the dry waste. And as a planting material, it needs a very good root system, so needs root length. But I think I didn't see that root length and dry weight is not measured, so maybe missing it.
Factors of them, we measure dry weight, but because of factors of that, Lanka not that, that's why I think how to make the factor of them, maybe measuring, taking measurement, measuring dry weight, so that's why I that's what I will do it.
The study is important. The validity and the
Yeah, so the only reason that they are researching also, they are also in part one.
the finding is
About
more
data.
yeah,
That's why I am into the
the finding is more valid with that data because it is a planted medical product. Thank you. One small suggestion is that what we are doing experiments in the limited time. So all the growth parameters and all the growth parameters all are depending on that limited time the nutrient increasing. Therefore, I suggest that total in addition to total nitrogen, the available nitrogen, if you have the resources and chemicals, available nitrogen is a good nitrogen. You know, that will be ammonium nitrogen and nitrogen. That is a good parameter. So because we are given a limited time, therefore you can get a very good idea. So studies you can do with the resources available.
Sir, thank you very much. Actually, we have deleted our chemical limiting part in our studies because of that deleting in our resources. Actually, I know that later if we can measure this chemical body in not this. Thank you.
Time is up. I think it's very good suggestions came to improve that finding, and there seems many applications on that with that information. Thank you very much, Eranga, for the good presentation. And we'll go to next presentation. That is titled Effect of Inorganic Fertilizer on Growth of Cinnamon Seedling Raised in Subsoil Substrate. Presenter is MD Lankan.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to present result of effect of inorganic fertilizers on growth of cinnamon seedling raised in subsoil. These are the content of the research. Introduction and justification. In cinnamon cultivation, propagation is crucial place because of its direct effect on a healthy and sustainable plantation. Nursery management is one of the very important operations in cinnamon cultivation because this is the initial stage of establishing a quality and vigorous cinnamon plant. A good nursery plant should be in height more than 15 centimeter, comprising 6 to 8 leaves per seedling and a well-developed root system. Parsley burnt paddy husk is a locally available low-cost organic material. The benefit of adding parsley burnt paddy husk to subsoil is to improve the physical and chemical properties of soil. Also, parsley burnt paddy husk decomposes and retains inorganic fertilizer in the soil. It also helps to improve the efficiency of applied inorganic fertilizers. Quality protein mixture and subsequent fertilizer applications mainly influence the size and vigor of the seedlings produced in the nursery. A mixture consists with equal part of topsoil, well decomposed cow dung, coarse sand, and coir dust were recommended potting mixture for cinnamon seedlings. However, seedling producers are facing many difficulties to find out the recommended raw materials for the potting mixture recently. Emphasizes the importance of potting media. The present study was conducted to select the most appropriate protocol for producing cinnamon seedlings on a commercial scale. The objective of the study to investigate the effect of different inorganic fertilizers, application on growth, performance of cinnamon seedling traits in different potting mixtures. Materials and methods. The experiment was conducted in open area at National Cinnamon Research and Training Center, May to December 2020. The experimental design was randomized complete block design with 5 treatments and 4 applications. Each treatment consisted of 100 bags containing 11 potting mixtures. Treatments consisted of 3 different potting mixtures and 2 modes of fertilizer application. Table 1 shows composition of the different potting media and fertilizer packages used in the experiment. Treatment 1 is topsoil, cow dung, coarse sand, coarse dust, 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 ratio, and not subsequent fertilizer applications. Treatment 2 is 4 kg of diammonium phosphate incorporated with 1 cube of subsoil and not subsequent fertilizer applications. Treatment 3 is 4 kg of diammonium phosphate incorporated with 1 cube of the mixture of subsoil and partially burnt paddy husk and not subsequent fertilizer applications. Treatment 4 is foliar spray T65 mixture applied to seedlings grown in the subsoil. Treatment 5 is foliar spray T65 mixture applied to the seedling grown in the mixture of subsoil and partially burnt paddy husk. These are the composition of fertilizer, diammonium phosphate and T65 mixture. Media preparation and planting and nursery maintenance. 9 parts of subsoil was mixed with 1 part of partially burnt paddy husk in volume basis. Diammonium phosphate was incorporated at the rate of 4 kg per cube of subsoil and mixture of subsoil and partially burnt paddy husk. Polythene bags filled with the different protein mixtures and placed according to the design in open area at National Cinnamon Research and Training Center. 8 cinnamon seeds are placed in one poly bag. 35 grams of T65 fertilizer mixture was dissolved in 5 liters of water and sprayed to 125 pots starting from 6 weeks after seed sowing to 4 months fortnightly. Subsequently, the fertilizer concentration was increased up to 70 grams per 5 liters and continued 2 months further. The foliage of the seedlings was within 15 to 30 minutes using clean water to avoid scorching effects of leaves by high concentration of the leaves of the fertilizers. Data collection and data analysis. 6 weeks after seed sowing, the germination percentages were counted. The shoot height and number of leaves per seedlings were measured at 2, 4 and 6 months after seed sowing. Leaf area, shoot dry weight and fruit dry weight per seedlings were measured at 6 months after sowing. Data were analyzed by using the analysis of variance. Garnett's test was used to compare the means of treatments at 0.05 probability level. Then I focus your attention, result and discussion. Table 2 show effect of different treatments on germination percentage at 2 weeks after sowing. The result revealed that the treatments did not significantly affect the germination percentage of cinnamon seeds at 6 weeks after sowing. All treatments showed the expected minimum germination percentage of commercial seeds. Table 3 show mean shoot height of 2, 4 and 6 months old cinnamon seedlings. Seedling height was not affected significantly by treatments at 2 and 4 months after seed sowing, while T5 reported significantly higher seedling height compared to the control treatment at 6 months after seed sowing. Table 4, mean number of leaves per seedling at 2, 4 and 6 months after seed sowing. The different treatments did not significantly influence the number of leaves per plant during the nursery period. Table 5, mean root dry weight, shoot dry weight and leaf area of 6 months old cinnamon seedling. The different treatment did not significantly influence the root, dry weight and leaf area. However, shoot dry weight was significantly affected by the treatments. Treatment 5 reported significantly higher shoot dry weight per plant compared to the control treatment. All seedlings grown in different treatment had 6 or 7 leaves per seedling, as well as shoot height was more than 15 centimeter. It was the key requirement in the recommendation of Department of Export Agriculture and Field Planting. In the present study, it was found that the significantly highest response in terms of biomass accumulation in the shoot in the seedlings T5 polyspray T65 fertilizer to the mixture subsoil and partially burnt paddy husk compared to control. This is mainly due to the higher growth attributes via shoot height, number of leaves and leaf area in the seedlings. Plate 1 show experiment plot at 6 months after sowing. These photos show reflected of result of the experiments. Plate 2 show treatment effect on shoot root growth parameters. Treatment 2, treatment 3 and treatment 4 plant growth was same compared to the control treatment. Further, treatment 5 show higher growth performance compared to the control. Conclusions of the study: the overall results clearly reveal that the polyspray is 65T mixture applied with partially burnt paddy husk incorporated subsoil media is the most effective medium to enhance the growth performance of the cinnamon seedlings. Further tested other treatments also can be utilized instead of current practice. These are the references. Thank you all of you.
Thank you very much for important studies and cinnamon seeds. Then now I invite, I open this session for questions and comments. Thank you very much. I think it is also connecting online. Can you hear us? The speaker, it's Malkanti. Can you hear? Audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes, I can speak.
Can you hear? So now that the session is open for discussion.
Data analysis experiment, we have used Dana test for the mean separation. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear. I want to compare.
Dana test usually used to compare the control with the other treatment. But according to the conclusion and the tables, even in your presentation, we haven't shown that part. But why you use that damage test instead of any other suitable mean comparison test?
Is the question is clear for you?
I want to compare because
It is audible to you? The question is clear or not?
yes, yes.
Maybe can the question again just in the, can you ask that question again in simple manner?
You asked why you use Dana test for the mean comparison. Mean comparison in this experiment, because the Dana test is usually used to compare the mean treatment means multiple mean treatment means with the control. in this case, then if you use that test to analyze, then your results also should be according with that method.
Is it clear, the question? Maybe if you can chat, both you can fight it.
Oh, so good.
Is it clear, the question? Can you hear us? Can you hear us, the speaker? Can you hear us? Can you hear?
Yes, I hear.
But the question is clear to you, the question raised by audience. Is it clear or not?
Mm,
Still not clear.
Yes, I clear.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to treatments compare with the control treatment. Control is the recommendation.
Is it clear? Are you satisfied?
Yeah, yes, I know that if you use Dana test, then you have to interpret your results in that way. But in your presentation, it's just not mentioned. That's what I asked. Okay.
And I think that maybe some suggestion to improve your person that finding. Thank you very much. And is there any other question? Is there any other question? And is there any other question? Yeah. Yeah, one question from Dr. Subhasundan.
Yes. Actually, she can't hear the question. Here, I think there is other authors. The paper, I think, in the audience, they might can answer, I think.
That the co-authors.
Authors?
Yeah, that the co-authors also can contribute to ask. Yeah, thank you. Please.
We have only 10 the sensors. We compare the treatment with the sensor. Not done sensoring among the treatment, only the treatment with the sensor. But in the without sensor also.
Is it clear? Now, I think that
In the table also.
okay. Okay, maybe that that is some comment for improvement. So that I think that
And similar question as the previous presentation. Here also, I think in the platinum material, the net assimilation, growth rate, food system are most important. And here also, I think the dry weight has been taken, but still the root length is missing. So I think I suggest
okay, that is
when I study like that, I think almost all the data what we can, we have to collect. And
okay.
then we can come to the very good conclusion. That is right.
Okay, that's the question on that proxy for growth So performance assessment. So suggestion is that include some more parameters to get more clear assessment. Okay. Maybe time is up now. Thank you very much for that presenting very good important presentation. And next presentation is on effect of different compound fertilizers on growth and yield of turmeric by again Eranga Birabadi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Maranga from Central Station, Mawatha. I'm going to discuss my research on effect of potassium sources in different compound fertilizers and precursor of the application on growth and yield of turmeric. According to previous research, nutrient uptake by turmeric is higher during vegetative phase of their development, and it has revealed that uptake of nutrients is in order potassium, nitrogen, magnesium, and calcium. So turmeric is a high potassium feeder. It is a major component of turmeric rhizome. Therefore, we must consider about K application, potassium application in turmeric cultivations in order to obtain better growth and quality product. According to the previous research on potassium application of potassium in splits had resulted higher rhizome yield, and application of large amount of K had increased or enhanced growth yield as well as the quality of rhizomes. Application of K in the form of SOP had increased yield than in the form of MOP. So, however, in our current fertilizer recommendation, we supply phosphorus for turmeric as 100 kg TSP per hectare as a basic fertilizer. We supply nitrogen as 65 kilograms of urea per hectare twice at 45 and 90 days after planting. We supply potassium as 100 kg of MOP per hectare twice at 45 and 90 days after planting. Up to date, we have not done any research on supply of potassium by compound fertilizers because compound fertilizers are at more advanced fertilizers than straight fertilizers, and in addition to that, we can supply potassium either as MOP or SOP if we use compound fertilizers for our fertilization program. So, objective of my research was to evaluate different compound fertilizers in which K source is either SOP or MOP and applied in 2 or 3 strips on turmeric cultivated in wet and dry zone areas. Let's move on to materials and methods. The experiment was conducted at 2 locations in wet zone at Hirivadunna in Kegol, in dry zone at Gannava in Anuradhapura district. So experiment design was RCPD, and a replicate was actually a standard planted bed. There were 3 blocks. A block contained all randomized treatments. Turmeric seed rhizome harvested by 1 seed lot from a known field was used for the experiments for both fields, as seeds are applied as for 35 to 40 gram seed rhizomes per point, planted in 40 planting points with a spacing of 0.3 meter in a standard bed, and all beds were supplied with 20 tons per hectare decomposed cow dung. And after applying all fertilizer treatments, they were maintained for 10 months from April 2021 to February 2022. Treatments are as follows. T11 is the control without any fertilizer, and T1 to T2 are straight fertilizer. T1 is the recommended fertilizer recommendation of our department, and T2 is straight application of that recommended fertilizer. And T3, T4, T5, T6, T7, T8, T9, T10 are 4 different compound fertilizers, and out of them T3, T4 are K source is SOP, and also in K9 and K10 K source is SOP. However, in all treatments, total first fertilizer applied per bed was 160 grams. Then, plant growth parameters were measured, such as number of pseudofilms per plant, number of leaves per pseudostem, height of pseudofilm at 3 month intervals, and at the end, total yield, total mother and finger rhizome yield was collected. Soil analysis of soil pH, electrical conductivity, total nitrogen available P, exchangeable K, by using standard analytical techniques, and data were analyzed using SAS. Let's move on to research and discussion. First, growth performances of turmeric in Hirivadunna. You can see mean number of leaves, mean number of pseudostems per bush, mean height of pseudostems per centimeter. Actually, in K gold, the plant height was very high. It was nearly 6 feet. So they grew well. However, no significant differences were observed among treatment. Most of the time, lowest values obtained from T11, but there are some incidents. It was not significantly different from other treatments. When we compare the growth performance data of Galnava, they are also, after 9 months after planting, the mean number of leaves, mean number of pseudostems per bush, mean height of pseudostems. Actually, there were no significant differences among treatments. However, these plants are somewhat smaller than the Ramkana field, I think. That is because of these agricultural conditions as well as soil type. And when we compare the mean number mother rhizome and total in turmeric in Hirikadunu Kegol, there also we couldn't see any significant differences among treatments. Even in Galna field, the total rhizome as well as mean mother rhizome, there was a significant difference in T10, but in mean total yield, there was no significant differences observed among treatments. When we compare the soil chemical parameters at Hirivadunu field, we can see certain amount of nutrients available even after 9 months of their growth, compared to initial soil properties of that field. Similarly, in Galna field, there's certain amount of nutrients available in their fields, especially K. And not in Galna field, in Hirivadunu field, here there's the moderate level of potassium in Galna field. However, these differences in nutrients, actually we cannot explain it by this research. We have to do further experiments to conclude nutrient absorption and other details. But according to results, we can conclude that no significant differences were shown in tested nutrient ratios, potassium source or number of splits when nutrients were applied as compound fertilizers such as NPK 50, 50, 50, no NPK 12, 11, 80, NPK 21, 7, 14 at a rate of 320 kilograms per hectare per year. Neither cases, no number of split application affected on growth and on yield of turmeric. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Now the session is open for discussion.
I have one question that is about your statistical analysis. You have analyzed two different locations separately. I think by doing so, there is a lot of information. So you cannot tell anything about the location issues. There are methods. So you are using multi-location one environment and if you use that kind of nested model, then you can do more on the output. That's what you said. You can do better.
There is one comment. And is there any question? Is there any question? Social media users are encouraged to ask questions. Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. And now all 5 presentations over. That's actually this session includes many aspects that some of them national level and sub-national level, actually field level and sport level, so all station level, and some all presentations have many information for that the improvement of actually that Department of Export Agriculture and many that is very important. Many fields there. Some of the suggestions came from that many presentations. First one is that national level climatic for paper. So that's also we have seen some improvement suggestions that is national level, and also that's also is very important for this improving the area of that export sector. Some areas to use maximum potential area first to get the maximum yield. So that is again the next one is cinnamon, that sub-national level that approaches. So that is some final scale. So we have seen that many details and very small area also that came out from that method. So this also some of the factors suggested by the audience. So then that can improve the method of that assessment method, and some the same approach can be used for other crops also. So that methodology is available, and the third one is some potting media. There is 10 treatments. So many properties have been assessed to get that performance. So some suggestion also came out. So that's also for some application, not only do the paper, but we can have some practical application for improvement of the sector. And the other also that seedling growth with different inorganic fertilizer levels. So many suggestions also came that in that aspect also. This fifth one also that turmeric, and this whole session covered several important crops. So some of the approaches can be applied for the other crops as well. So that's most of the papers presented here is may not limit to the paper, but there are some applications. So then at field level practical application and make use of this information for improvement of that export agriculture sector. And some suggestions actually came from that hidden suggestion came before doing this research, that at the research planning level, if we can discuss about the statistical methods before doing this, or maybe that's also improve that quality of research of all sectors. And also some of the analysts may have done few seasons in for that it can be confirmed by doing more. That is also good. So with that few comments, I think I want to thank for inviting me this session for to contribute, and also I like to thank for Mr. Asoka Gunwatna for moderating this session. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting.
Thank you, Dr. Kadapitiya. Hope that we had a successful session to share the research on natural resource findings, natural resource management. Before getting into the next session, let us break for a tea, and the tea will be served at the out of the auditorium. Thank you.
ඔබ රජෙක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. සමහර විට වෛද්‍යවරයෙක්, ගුරුවරයෙක්, නීතිඥයෙක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. නමුත් ඔබෙත් මගෙත් කුසකිනෙනි වන්නේ ඔහුයි. ඔබේ රැකියාව අහසෙ වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් මහසයුර වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. තාක්ෂණය හෝ සංවර්ධනය වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. අපි කවුරු මොනවා කළත් කුසකිනෙනි වන්නේ ඔහුයි. ධනවතෙක් උනත් නොඋනත්, වැඩිහිටියෙක් හෝ ලදරුවෙක් උනත්, ඔබත් මමත් කවුරු උනත් අපි කුසකිනෙනි වන්නේ ඔහුයි. අහස පොළව ගෙනෙන අභියෝග හමුවේ නොසැලුණු ඔහුට පන්නරය දුන් CIC කෘෂි ව්‍යාපාර වසර 25ක් පුරා ජීවිත අස්වැත්වූ මෙහෙයුම අනාගත පරපුරටත්.
In the fast-moving world of international supply and value chains, we face big challenges. Big challenges that, when understood, can be made smaller, more manageable. At Control Union, we take a more rational approach to make this happen. We look at the how, the why, the when, and the where. We question not just what can be done to solve problems, but how to prevent them. That means not just doing, it means thinking, taking ownership, and innovating. If we change the way we view the world, we have the opportunity to see things differently. Growing population, globalization, pressure on crop yields, food safety, sustainability, and amplified social and ethical standards have all put pressure on companies to perform better, with greater emphasis on transparency, traceability, and compliance in the way they operate across the supply chain from raw material to the end user. The key challenge facing commodity industries today is to meet the need for a set of common standards for worldwide operations in commodity inspections, certifications, collateral services, industrial inspections, and logistics, and to achieve it in an environment where local regulations and conditions vary widely from country to country. Our people have a wealth of experience and knowledge which has been built up over many years, and they are our greatest asset. They understand our business and, more importantly, the needs of our customers, and they have helped us develop Control Union into a global, decentralized entity. But what do we mean by that? We mean that we have become a cohesive organization where people are valued and empowered, and where everyone has a voice. Control Union people are encouraged to use their unique local experience and knowledge to find and deliver the best service solutions, serving our multinational clients both domestically and globally, constantly finding the right solutions in a complex, dynamic, and changing world. With offices in over 70 countries, Control Union has unrivaled experience across commodity supply chains. All in all, this means that with Control Union as your preferred partner, you can be sure you're working with a multinational team of specialists with the knowledge and experience to deliver sustainable, profitable relationships that can mitigate risk and provide greater operational efficiencies. Quite simply, we are responsive to our clients' needs and deliver quick results to save time. When it comes to global supply and value chain stewardship, we are the trusted specialists. We are Control Union.
Sri Lanka, home to a unique quartet of seasons. This tropical advantage ushers in a diverse serving of climates, the likes of which provide homes to farms that thrive in the best of environments. For over 2 decades, the art of mastering this island's unique natural offering has been perfected by Seasons of Ceylon. Hand in hand with native farmers, Seasons of Ceylon has built a traditional polycultural empire in home gardening. Castled by dynasties of spices, fruits, vegetables, tea, coffee, pulses and grains. They serve as an ode to combined efforts and mutual knowledge that span generations. To honor this relationship, Seasons of Ceylon vows to empower 1 million farming families by 2028. Our state-of-the-art facility guarantees global standard quality products. The revolutionary low-heat reverse air condensation drying is characterized by energy efficiency. The processing plant encompasses destoning, cyclonic dust filtering, gravity separating, automated grading and color sorting, all performed with minimum human interaction. We also possess technological prowess to perform industrial cryogenic grinding and supercritical extraction. This fully integrated facility ensures that from sourcing to extraction, we are able to preserve potency, color, aroma, nutrients and essential oils, just the way nature intended, untainted from chemicals. Synonymous with tradition and technology, Seasons of Ceylon cuts no corners in bringing to the world a wide range of distinct products. Elevate cuisines to culinary marvels. Season discerning palates. Enrich goodness. Cherish fragrant delights. Relish nutrition. Rejuvenate the soul. Invigorate vitality or tend to ailments. Venture on an odyssey with Seasons of Ceylon and sail the oceans of fragrance, flavor and health.
හදින් හද බැඳෙනා ලෙංගතු කමේ මුවින් මුව සරසනා පේකමේ මහ පොළොවේ පුදිනා රන්සාරයේ නැවුම් හැඟුමන් පුබුදු කරනා රසයිනේ සොබාදමේ හදින් හද බැඳෙනා ලෙංගතු කමේ මුවින් මුව සරසනා පේකමේ මහ පොළොවේ පුදිනා රන්සාරයේ නැවුම් හැඟුමන් පුබුදු කරනා රසයිනේ සොබාදමේ
නෙල්කෝ කුළුබඩු සහ ධාන්‍ය නිෂ්පාදන.
The spice trade bound to the Orient has been a powerful factor in the development of the maritime Silk Route and the rise of the European empires. Since Sri Lanka is a marvelously enchanting island enriched with supreme quality spices since ancient times, it earned its reputation from both Arabian and European traders as a cherished treasure trove of aromatic wonders. The British, the final nation to colonize Sri Lanka, initially exported the Sri Lankan treasures such as Ceylon cinnamon, cardamom and pepper. However, as their rule progressed, they shifted their focus towards establishing large-scale plantations. Consequently, this transformation led to the gradual decline in spice cultivation within Sri Lanka by the beginning of the 20th century. By the middle of the 20th century, when Sri Lanka gained independence, the productivity of plantation crop lands such as tea and rubber gradually decreased, and the government at that time paid attention to this challenge. In 1968, the Sri Lankan government found the possibility of introducing crop diversification projects in the less productive tea lands. Consequently, a special tea commission was duly appointed, entrusted with this vital task. According to the commission's study, Sri Lanka's hidden spice treasures, which have a huge export potential, came into the fore and were identified as the most suitable candidates for crop diversification projects. As a result, the Department of Minor Export Crops was established in 1972. Initially, the department was tasked with promoting a limited number of crops such as cinnamon, pepper, cocoa, coffee, and cardamom. However, a significant turning point came in 1992 with the enactment of Export Agricultural Crops Promotion Act No. 46, wherein the department was entrusted with the custody of 15 diverse export agricultural crops under 4 main categories, namely spices, beverage crops, essential oil crops, and stimulant crops. Furthermore, the department underwent a transformative name change, emerging as the Department of Export Agriculture in 1992. With unwavering dedication, the department embraced its role to conduct comprehensive research and development activities, diligently catering the needs of the 15 esteemed crops, namely cinnamon, pepper, cardamom, nutmeg, clove, coffee, cocoa, vanilla, lemongrass, citronella, betel, arecanut, turmeric, ginger, and garcinia. The Department of Export Agriculture, which mainly consists of research and development activities, is administered by a total of 65 scientific service executive officers working under a Director General who belongs to the Sri Lanka Scientific Service in special grade. The Export Agriculture Research Division is a remarkable entity operating under the guidance of a special grade Additional Director General of the Sri Lanka Scientific Service. The division comprises 3 main research entities: the Central Research Station in Matale, the National Cinnamon Research and Training Center in Mathara, and the Intercropping and Beetle Research Station in Narammala. In addition, there are 5 other research units including Plant Tissue Culture Research Station at Walpita, the Economic Research Division at the department headquarters, Gatambe, and 3 sub-research centers in Kundasale, Nillamba, and Dalpitiya. The research division also boasts the esteemed distinction of housing the sole national spice garden in Sri Lanka, which is located in Mawatha. A wide range of work on export crops related to agronomy, plant breeding, soil science and plant nutrition, pathology, entomology, plant production, and post-harvest technology are undertaken by this division. The Development Division of the Department of Export Agriculture consists of several subdivisions working tirelessly towards our goal. These include the district officers established in 17 districts covering all areas of the island, the in-service training center at Mawatha, the communication and media division, the business counseling unit, and the progress monitoring unit located at the department headquarters in Gatambe. In the year 2022, the Department of Export Agriculture celebrated a momentous milestone, the Golden Jubilee, marking 50 years of exceptional achievements. Established in 1972, this esteemed department successfully propelled Sri Lanka's annual income from agriculture